Hello, this is Ross Bliley from the podcast Pigskin Tales. This podcast is sponsored by Sterling Soap Company. With products sold throughout 41 locations around the globe, Sterling Soap Company has a unique assortment of products to choose from for your loved one for the holidays. Handmade artisan soaps created by Roderick and Amanda Lovin since 2012, these products are affordable and provide great value. Act now and save on your shipping costs. If you purchase $75 or more, your shipping cost is free in the United States. Shop now online at sterlingsoap.com.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Darren Hayes, host of the Pigskin Dispatch and Jersey Dispatch podcast. I hope you've enjoyed another great episode here on Sports History Network. Now, speaking of sports history, this episode was brought to you by Firefly Books, and they have two great ones for you this summer. For basketball fans, they have the NBA 75, The Definitive History by author Dave Zarum, who's appeared on our Jersey Dispatch podcast recently. He tells about the experience, the thrilling journey of the NBA, from its humble beginnings to its modern glory. Uncover the untold stories of triumph, controversy, and the greatest stars of the game. This isn't just a book, it's courtside seats to over 75 years of NBA history. And for the golf enthusiasts, swing into The Golf Round I'll Never Forget by Matt Adams. Relive 50 of golf's most memorable moments through the eyes of the legends themselves. From Garcia's triumph at the 2017 Masters to Nicklaus' miraculous 1986 comeback, it's the closest you'll get to walking the fairways with golf's greatest. Get your summer read on. Grab a copy of NBA 75 or The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, available online or at your favorite bookstore.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball. More specifically, we're going to talk about Billy the Kid Martin. Billy Martin was born in Berkeley, California in 1928. His parents split up shortly after his birth, which had a profound emotional impact on Billy. As a child, he frequently got into fights and engaged in amateur boxing for a time before shifting his focus to baseball. He wasn't a natural, but through hard work and practice, he batted over 400 in his senior year of high school. After high school, he joined the Independent League, where he played for the Oakland Oaks. The team's manager was Casey Stengel, who grew fond of Martin, and the two developed an almost father-son relationship. In 1949, Stengel was hired to manage the New York Yankees. Martin joined the Yankees a year later. He played in only 34 games that season, but proved to be a solid backup for Jerry Coleman at second base. The following season, he appeared in 51 games, backing up Bobby Brown at third base. In 1952, he became the starting second baseman and batted .267 while providing excellent fielding. Here's a great example of his fielding abilities. Jackie Robinson hit a high pop fly, with the Yankees leading 4-2 in Game 7 of the World Series. A strong wind and a blinding sun caused first baseman Joe Collins to lose sight of the ball. Martin sprinted from second base and caught it near home plate before it could hit the ground. This catch may have saved the win for the Yankees, considering it was the 7th inning, 2 outs, and the bases were loaded. Had the ball dropped, it's possible 3 runners would have scored, giving the Dodgers a 5-4 lead. Instead, the Yankees won 4-2, taking the series 4-3. In 1953, Martin played second base again and started 149 games. Along with his impressive fielding, he belted 15 home runs, drove in 75 runs, and had a batting average of .257. In the World Series, Martin batted .500 with a record-tying 12 hits. His exceptional performance helped the Yankees win their 5th consecutive World Series, and Martin received the series MVP award. Billy missed the entire 1954 season because of military service. It was the only year during his time with the Yankees that the team did not win the American League pennant. Martin's military service lasted until 1955, but he played in the final 20 games of the regular season and the World Series. He batted .320 in the series and drove in 4 runs, but the Yankees lost in 7 games to the Dodgers. In 1956, Martin played in 121 games and batted .264, but he continued to excel on the field and in the World Series, where he hit .296 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. The Yankees defeated the Dodgers 4-3. Additionally, 1956 was the only year Martin made the All-Star team. Martin played 43 games with the Yankees in 1957 before being traded to the Kansas City Athletics. The Yankees general manager George Weiss never liked Martin. He didn't appreciate Martin's late-night carousing, his tendency to get into fights, and believed Martin wasn't good for the Yankees' image. Weiss was waiting for a solid reason to trade Martin, which came on May 16th. Martin, some teammates, and their wives went to the Copacabana nightclub that evening to celebrate Billy's 29th birthday. That night, Sammy Davis Jr., the entertainer, was heckled by some drunken bowlers. The Yankees players told the bowlers to stop, but they continued their heckling and even used racial slurs. There are varying accounts of what happened next, but one of the bowlers ended up in the hospital with a fractured jaw and a broken nose. Who threw the punch may never be known. Some say it was right fielder Hank Bauer, a former Marine, while others claim it was Joey Silvestri, who worked there as a bouncer. However, Weiss blamed Martin for the incident and traded him. Martin held manager Casey Stengel responsible for the trade, damaging their once close relationship. Martin concluded the 1957 season with the Athletics and spent 4 additional seasons with the Tigers, Indians, Reds, and Twins, but he was never the same player after leaving the Yankees. In 1960, Martin had a confrontation with Chicago Cubs pitcher Jim Brewer while playing for the Reds. Brewer sustained a broken eye socket, and the Cubs subsequently sued Martin. In 1965, the Twins hired Martin as a third base coach. 1 year later, Martin fought with Twins traveling secretary. Despite the fight, the Twins kept Martin and hired him as their manager in 1969, after the Twins finished the 1968 season with a 79-83 record. Martin proved his worth as a manager. The Twins finished the 1969 season with a 97-65 record, but lost to the powerful Baltimore Orioles in the American League Championship Series. But Billy the Kid couldn't stay out of trouble. At one point during the season, former Vice President Hubert Humphrey visited the Twins clubhouse and was ejected by Martin. The incident embarrassed team officials, who apologized to Humphrey. Martin also got into an altercation with Twins pitcher Dave Boswell outside a bar. The Twins front office determined that Martin wasn't worth all the trouble he was causing and fired him after the playoffs. In 1971, Martin was hired by the Detroit Tigers. After winning the World Series in 1968, the Tigers ended the 1970 season with a disappointing 79-83 record. Under Martin, the team compiled a 91-71 record in 1971 and finished first in their division in 1972 before losing to the Oakland A's in the playoffs. 1973 was not as successful for the Tigers. Martin's drinking spiraled out of control, and he feuded with several of his players throughout the season, particularly all-star left fielder Willie Horton. He also openly criticized the Tigers front office. On August 30th, the Tigers faced the Cleveland Indians. On the mound for Cleveland was Gaylord Perry, known for throwing spitballs. Martin complained to the umpires that Perry was loading up the ball, but the umpires ignored his complaints. Martin instructed his pitchers to do the same and admitted it to the media after the game. This led to Martin being suspended by American League President Joe Cronin. The Tigers' record at this point was 71-63, trailing the first-place Orioles by 7.5 games. The front office had seen enough of Martin's antics and fired him before the suspension ended. That will conclude our podcast for this week. Join us again next week. We'll have part 2 of Billy the Kid Martin. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
The Sports History Network, where legends live on and the past plays loud. Welcome to the place where history's proud, from gridiron glory to the hardwood stars, from the racetrack heat to Olympic bars. It's the voices, the stories, the moments you miss, told by fans and pros who live for this. Hook and Themic, the Sports History Network, where the past comes alive. Podcasts and blogs that keep the flame high, from Babe to Brady, Alley to the Dome. If it's history and sports, then this is the home. SportsHistoryNetwork.com, the headquarters of sports yesteryear.